सो बेसिकली हम लोग एंडोक्राइन सिस्टम के बारे में पढ़ रहे थे, जिसमें हम लोगों ने एड्रेनल ग्लैंड के बारे में डिस्कस किया था लास्ट क्लास में। सो आज हम बात करेंगे एक इम्पॉर्टेंट ऑर्गन, वो है ओवरीज। एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड है, ठीक है, और ऑर्गन। सो बेसिकली द इम्पॉर्टेंट ऑर्गन और endocrine gland, that is ovaries, which are mostly present or present in only in females. Okay, so the ovaries are located in pelvic cavity. So this is the situation of anatomical area where the ovaries are present. One side of the uterus, the hormones produced by the ovaries are the steroid, estrogen, and progesterone, and the protein inhibit, although their functions are an integral part of other chapter. We will brief discuss some of them here. So basically, it is we will discuss in other topic as well, as because it is connected to other system. But here, according to endocrine, what type of uh, hormone it will release, according to that we are talking here. Okay, reproductive system. In reproductive system we will talk about in detail about the ovaries. So but what type of hormones it's releasing, it's very important. So here, progesterone, estrogen, and protein inhibit. These are the three hormones: estrogen and progesterone and protein inhibit. Estrogen, progesterone, very very important, and inhibin, it is also very very important. Next we have another gland, that is testes, which are present in the male. Okay, so other hormones which are released by testes we also discuss here, that is testosterone, progesterone, and estrogen. Inhibin, it is released in the female. Okay, and progesterone in male. So let's talk about estrogen. Estrogen is secreted by follicle cells of the ovary. So let's see the where the ovaries are present. We'll see the image. पहले देखेंगे हम लोग ये कहाँ है ओवरी, पहले इमेज देखिए. सो बेसिकली दिस इज द ओवरीज is present in the female. Okay, so this is the ovary. Basically ovaries this is the ovaries. This is the uterus. This is the tube, fallopian tube. This is the fallopian tube. Okay, this is the cervix. This is the vagina. Okay, so this is the ovaries. Okay, this is the ovaries. So ovaries secretion is stimulated by FSH. So FSH is an hormone. It is released by our anterior pituitary gland. Okay, anterior pituitary gland will release FSH. Then the FSH, after the releasing of follicle stimulating hormone. So whatever follicles here we have here with the ovaries, okay, it will stimulate here. Then ovaries will release estrogen. Okay, from where FSH is released? Anterior pituitary gland. Okay, estrogen promotes the maturation of the ovum in the ovarian follicle and stimulates the growth of blood vessels in the endometrium lining of the uterus in preparation of possible fertile egg. So basically, what is the purpose? What is the purpose for estrogen? Because to stimulate the secondary characters, or to stimulate the new generation or fertilized egg. Okay, so this is the main reason of coming of estrogen. Okay, so what will it will do? It will promotes the maturation of ovum. Okay, from the ovaries, whatever here from the ovaries, the ovum uh, will produce. Okay, so it will release in the endometrium lining. Okay, for the production of fertilized egg. So it will produce is release here. Okay, here we have the egg ovum. Okay, the secondary sex character is in women also develop in response to estrogen. The first thing is to develop uh, egg, fertilized egg. First is, and second is characters of women also developed by estrogen. This includes growth of the ductal system of the mammary glands, growth of uterus, and the deposition of fat substance in the hips and thighs. The closure of the epiphyseal disc in long bones is brought about by estrogen, and growth in height stops. Estrogen also believed to lower blood levels of cholesterol and triglycerides for women before the age of menopause is beneficial, and is that is decreases the risk of atherosclerosis and coronary artery disease. So other functions of estrogen. What are the other functions of estrogen? Okay, other function is growth of ductal system. Means secondary whatever women organs they are developed. Okay, and other uh, fat, subcutaneous fat also develop. Okay, and we have long bones. Okay, growth of long bones also is stopped. So what will happen if the growth of long bones stopped? So the height will automatically stop. Okay, and it also decrease the cholesterol level and triglycerides in the woman. So it will decrease the risk of clotting of the blood and heart diseases. Okay, so these are the other functions of estrogen. Research suggests that estrogen no longer be considered only a female hormone. Estrogens to be have effect on many organs, including the brain, the heart, and blood vessels. In the brain, testosterone from the testes or adrenal cortex can be converted to estrogen, which may be important for memory. Okay, so basically, in previous days, what will happen? The early research show that the the estrogen is for only for women hormones, women secondary characters, but later on coming days what will research say that it is no more only female hormone but it also works in other parts of the body, like example is given brain, heart, and blood vessels. So it will also work for brain. So whatever testes or adrenal cortex will produce testosterone. Okay, which is very important, will convert into estrogen and very important for memory. Okay, for memory purpose it is also very important, but especially for older people. Estrogen seems to have non-productive functions in both men and women, although it cannot yet be as specific as you can be with the reproductive functions in women mentioned previously. Okay, so basically this is the main important function, second important function, and third important function. Basically, estrogen is a very important hormone for female and other related organs also. Next, we have another hormone that is progesterone. Okay. When a mature ovarian follicle releases an ovum, the follicle becomes the corpus luteum. Again, begins to secret progesterone in addition to estrogen. This is stimulated by LH from the anterior pituitary gland. So what will happen? Ovarian release ovum. So it have to become maturity. It have to become uh, more development have to occur. So what will happen? So we have anterior pituitary gland. It will release LH hormone. So further any type of growth, it will need information or it will need further confirmation from the brain, the master gland, that is pituitary gland. So pituitary gland will order, it will release LH. LH will stimulate progesterone and progesterone will do further work. Okay, so what will it is the further purpose is for. Okay, further purpose is for whatever ovum is produced, it have to be go in the further further procedure. Okay, progesterone promotes the storage of glycogen and the further growth of blood vessels in the endometrium, which thus becomes a potential placenta. The secretory cells of the mammary glands also develop under the influence of progesterone. So what will happen further? Whatever development will happen, it will seen by progesterone. Blood vessels, okay, need to develop the whatever requirement are there. So blood vessels, it will improve. Okay, it will include the glycogen storage. Okay, so this is the importance of progesterone. So progesterone and estrogen both are very very important. Okay, for females. Okay, next another hormone, that is inhibin. The corpus luteum secretes another hormone called inhibin. So we have the corpus luteum. Okay, whatever the development occurs in the ovum, it have different names. Okay, so don't bother about that, we will discuss in reproductive system. But here we have to know the importance of hormones, what progesterone will do, what estrogen will do. This is very important. Inhibin can help decrease the secretion of FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, by the anterior pituitary gland, and GnRH by the hypothalamus. So whatever it will inhibits, it will stop the secretion of FSH, because after the first stage, the estrogen stage will ended. Now progesterone stage started. So we doesn't need more estrogen. We need progesterone for further development of fetus. Okay, so this is for the reason the progesterone is stimulated. Okay, from the ovaries. Okay, follicles, whatever. Okay, and decrease the secretion of estrogen. Okay, so this is very very important thing we have to understood. Okay, so ovaries will release two to three hormones. One is estrogen, progesterone, and inhibin. And the next topic is the male hormone, that is testosterone. Okay, testosterone, what is testosterone? Is an male hormone. Okay, by the releasing by the testes. The stimulus for the secretion is LH. So again, anterior pituitary gland will release LH. LH will stimulate the male hormone, that is testosterone. Okay, testosterone promotes maturation of sperm in the seminiferous tubules of the testes. This process begins at puberty and continues throughout life. At puberty, testosterone stimulates development of the male secondary characteristics. These include growth of all the reproductive organs, growth of facial and body hair, growth of the larynx, deepening of the voice, and growth of the skeletal muscles. Testosterone also brings about closure of the epiphyseal of long bones. So, testosterone is for male hormones. Whatever male uh, uh, signs are seeing, like a beard and have uh, facial hair, okay, and voice, okay, and the strong muscle development. So all this due to the testosterone, okay, and secondary characters. And primary, it is for development of and development of our maturation of okay. This is the main first, and second is secondary characters. These are the two important functions of testosterone. And along with that, we have inhibin hormone. Inhibin is secreted by subtesticular cells of the testis. So it is again secreted by testis. So the function of inhibin is to decrease the secretion of SH by the anterior pituitary gland. The interaction of inhibin, testosterone, and the anterior pituitary hormones maintain spermatogenesis in a at a constant rate. So basically, what will happen if the hormones are releasing continuously? So daily it will regulate the whatever hormone it will stimulating. Okay. So what will happen again? We need another hormone which will stop the whatever uh, stimulus are giving by the hormone. Okay, we need stop break. So then only the amount of hormone in the blood will decrease. So again, for the further development, we need more hormone. So likewise, the cycle will happen. Okay, so continuous cycle will very not useful for the body. It will, according to the condition, the body will release and the body will inhibit the hormones. So this is the natural process. Okay, so this is all about testosterone. We have other hormones are there, that is melatonin. This is for sleeping hormone. We also have sleep hormone in the pineal gland. We have in the brain that release the melatonin during the night time. Okay, so then only we will get the sleep. Okay, so if we doesn't sleep on the time, the melatonin gradually the melatonin decreases, pineal gland decreases the release of melatonin. So that's what one after some days we doesn't get the sleep at 12 o'clock. After some time we doesn't get the sleep at 11 o'clock. Gradually the duration of night sleeping is increasing. Okay, so that's the reason we have to sleep on the time if we need proper release of melatonin. Okay, and we have other hormones, that is prostaglandins. Prostaglandins is for phospholipids, whatever the cell membrane having, their covering is made by phospholipid. So that's the reason we need phospholipid for their proper functioning. Whatever damage will occur, whatever uh, repairing will occur, you need prostaglandins for the basic purpose of cell. Okay, so next is how the function will occur. Whatever hormone is there, how the mechanism occur. We have to know this. Okay, so this is very very important. Important that the hormone is released by glands, but how the functioning, how the mechanism is occur. So let's talk about that. Very important. Exactly how hormones exert the effects on the target organs. Means whatever hormones are releasing, it will reaching to the blood, then afterwards to the target organ. How it is affecting the target organ. Okay, this is a very complex process. Question is answer is very complex process, which will be present simply here, but we will understand in simple manner. The hormone must first bond to receptor. So this is the hormone. We have each hormone have their receptor. Receptors mean the receiver of the cell. Okay, cell respond to the certain hormones and not to other because of the presence of specific receptors, which are proteins. So basically the receptors made up of proteins. This receptor proteins may be part of the cell membrane or within the cytoplasm or nucleus of the target cell. The hormone will affect only those cells that have specific receptors. Liver cell, for example, have cell membrane receptor for insulin, glucagon, growth hormone, and epinephrine. Bone cells have receptors of growth hormone, PTH, and calcitonin. Cells of the ovaries and testes do not have receptor of PTH and calcitonin, but do not receptor but do have receptor of FSH and LH, which bones and liver cells do not have. Once the hormone has bound to a receptor or in its target cell, other reaction will take place. So basically, it is the game of receptors. So what are the type of receptors they have? Cell have. The cell receive that hormone to the body. Okay, so this is the mechanism, how the mechanism occurs. So basically the receptor is there. So the receptor is made up of protein. So whatever receptor is there, it will receive. Like example is giving, we have two organs, liver and ovaries. So basically liver will receive glucagon, okay, growth hormone, epinephrine, insulin, all these hormones, because the receptors are present inside the liver. But here ovaries, estrogen, progesterone, it will stimulate FSH, LH, it will receive because it have receptors, but it will not receive epinephrine or other hormones. Yes, because they doesn't have receptors. This is the very, very important thing we have to remember. The two messenger mechanism protein hormones. The two messenger mechanism of hormones action involves messenger that makes something happen. That is stimulate specific reaction. Protein hormones usually bond to receptors of the cell membrane, and the hormone is called the first messenger. The hormone receptors, the hormone receptors bonding activates the enzymes adenyl cyclase to the on the inner surface of the cell membrane. Adenyl cyclase synthesis a substance called adenosine monophosphate from ATP, and cyclic AMP is the second messenger. Cyclic AMP activates specific enzymes within the cell, which bring about a cell characterizes response to the hormones. These hormones include a change in the permeability of the cell membrane to a specific substance. Basically, here we have the diagram. Okay, basically, here first messenger as second messenger, because we have the receptor outside the membrane. Okay, it will receive the hormone, and it will throw the hormone to the hormone. It will enter into the inside the cell. Inside the cell, it will enter into the inside the cell. After the second messenger is there, which will get the hormone, it will enter into the DNA for the further function. Okay, you can see here, this is the mechanism. Protein hormone is the receptor of the cell membrane. It will enter energy changes, and the what will enzymes, what will the function of the hormones will seen here. Okay, and okay, it is the second steroid hormone. Okay, which is received by the receptor. Okay, we have the steroid protein complex, DNA and chromosomes, protein synthesis. So it will enter, and whatever function it will do in the DNA, and it at the result, it will release the protein. Okay, so this is the basic things we have to understand. Okay, so basically, what is the aging and the endocrine gland? This is very important because most of the endocrine glands decrease the secretion with age. So basically, as the age increases, the function of the glands, the function of the organs will decreases because it is a natural process. Okay. So basically, whatever hormone is that, the releasing or secretion of hormones will decreases. So what will happen? The function of the normal organs will affect. Okay, that's the reason in old age we have all the things in decreased manner. Okay, so the memory will decrease, what walking capacity will decrease, eating habits are decreased, digestion is decreased. Okay, as well as appetite is decreased. Okay, vision is decreased, hearing capacity is decreased because of the functional capacity of the organs is decreased. So there's the reason all functional capacity will decrease, physiologically decrease. Okay, that's the reason. As a result, we will see these are the things in the older patient. So basically, hormones are very, very important. Whatever functions you have to done with the organ, you need communication, hormonal communication with each other. Okay, then only the body will do stabilized work, and it is for normal physiological functioning of the body. Okay, so we need hormones. Hormones are the very, very important. So I think this is the summary. Okay, you have to study. This is the summary about that, and everyone have to answer this question. We have 14 questions here. Okay, everyone have to write. Okay, and send in the group. Okay, next we will talk about blood. This is very, very important. Blood. Okay, so you have, if you have doubt, you can ask.